Welcome to the 5-Minute Prime Podcast. Quick, actionable tips to master personal finance and real estate investing. In just 5 minutes a day, we'll help you build wealth and achieve financial freedom. Hey, Prime investors, Martin Maxwell here. Welcome back to the 5-Minute Prime Podcast. You get pre-approved on a Tuesday morning. By lunch, your phone is buzzed a dozen times. Lenders you've never heard of. All of them suddenly very interested in you. That's not a coincidence. And it's the best clue you'll ever get about what a pre-approval letter actually is. Here's the thing nobody tells a first-time buyer. Pre-approved and approved are not the same word with a prefix. They're two different things, and the gap between them is where good buyers lose good houses. So before you ever apply, let's close that gap, starting with those phone calls. Those calls have a name in the industry: trigger leads. The moment a lender runs your credit for a mortgage, the credit bureaus can see it, and they've historically sold that signal to other lenders who race to call you before the ink's dry. Now here's the part that teaches you something. What sets off that wave isn't the word on the letter, it's a hard credit pull. The bureaus see a real mortgage inquiry land on your file, and they sell that signal. A softer, lighter check doesn't trip it, and a genuine pre-approval, the kind worth having, runs that hard pull. It's an actual underwriting event. And before that scares you off, a hard pull barely touches your score, a few points at most. Better yet, if you shop several lenders inside about 2 weeks, the credit model's counted as 1 pull, not 5. So shop around. Just do it fast. When your phone lights up, that's the tell. Somebody pulled your file apart for real. Which, hold this thought, is exactly why the label on these letters matters less than you'd think. More on that in a second. You'd want that real pull anyway. It's the version a seller's agent actually respects. When you're up against 3 other buyers, a quick automated guess gets a shrug. A letter backed by a real underwriting pull gets your offer taken seriously. So the spam you hate is, oddly, the same signal that gives your offer weight. You just want the weight without the wave of calls. And now, finally, you can. And the good news, for once, is that this is changing. A new federal law took effect in early 2026 that finally curbs the sale of those trigger leads. It doesn't kill every call. Your own lender, your servicer, and anyone you opt in with can still reach out. But the random avalanche from strangers, that's getting cut off. About time. So if the pull is real, you're basically approved, right? No. And this is the one I really want to land. I'll give you the cleanest version I know. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the federal agency that watches this stuff, says both a pre-qualification and a pre-approval are, and I'm quoting the idea here, not guaranteed loan offers. Even better, they'll tell you the labels themselves are unreliable. Different lenders use pre-qual and pre-approval to mean different things. The word on the letter doesn't tell you much, so stop shopping the label. The question that actually matters is simpler. Did a human underwriter look at my file, or did a computer spit this out in 9 seconds? And if you're listening to this already pre-approved with a little knot in your stomach, relax. You're fine. The letter does what it does. You just want to know its edges, not panic about them. Here's that edge in plain terms. An automated pre-approval reads your credit and your stated income and prints a number. A real one, the kind that holds up when you're competing for a house, has a human underwriter who's looked at your actual pay stubs, your bank statements, the whole picture. Same word on the letterhead, completely different paper underneath. Ask your lender which one you've got. The answer tells you how much the letter is really worth when you put an offer on the table. And here's the document that is defined by law, the one nobody talks about. It's called the loan estimate. Once you hand a lender the full picture, they have 3 business days to send you a standardized 3-page loan estimate. That's the real regulated paper. It lays out your actual interest rate, your monthly payment, your closing costs, in a format every lender has to use, which means you can put 2 of them side by side and compare apples to apples. That's the document to hold on to. But even that one, and this surprises people, is not an approval. It's a disclosure of terms. Nobody has said yes yet. 2 more things the letter does not do, by the way, and these cost real money. It does not lock your rate. The number you got quoted can move until you actually lock it, usually after you're under contract. So don't sit around betting rates will fall and your quote will follow. Underwrite to the rate you can lock today. A cut later is a bonus, never the plan. And the letter expires, usually somewhere in the 60 to 90 day range, though it varies by lender. Credit drifts, income changes, rates move. The clock is real. So the letter's in your inbox. What can still blow up the loan between here and the keys? 5 things. Quick. 1. The repull. Lenders recheck your credit, often in the last few days before closing. New debt shows up, your score drops, the deal can pause. 2. The final employment check. There's a verbal verification of employment that happens late, sometimes inside the last 10 business days. Change jobs in that window, and you've got a problem. 3, and this is the classic, the new car. You get pre-approved, you celebrate, you finance a car. That payment just raised your debt-to-income ratio, and your DTI is exactly what the loan was built on. That deal works, until the car. Then it doesn't. 4, the surprise deposit. A big, unexplained chunk of money lands in your account, and the lender has to source it. 40 grand from nowhere looks like a problem until you prove it isn't. 5, the appraisal. The house has to appraise for what you agreed to pay. We'll spend real time on that one this week, but it's the 5th tripwire between pre-approved and clear to close, which is the underwriter's final green light. Now notice what every one of those 5 has in common. Not one of them is the bank changing its mind about you. It's your situation changing, or the verification that was always coming finally arriving. The letter didn't lie, it just wasn't finished yet. That's the whole mindset shift. A pre-approval isn't a thing you have, it's a thing you have to keep true. So here's how I want you to hold all of this. A pre-approval is a preview, not a promise. It's the bank saying, probably, under these conditions, if nothing changes. Your job is to make sure nothing changes. 2 things to do, and you can do both before you ever apply. First, when you do get that letter, find 2 lines on it. Is the rate locked or just quoted? And what's the expiration date? If you don't know those 2 answers, you don't actually know what you're holding. And second, from the day of the letter to the day you get the keys, go on financial radio silence. No new credit cards, no car, no job moves you don't have to make, no mystery deposits. Boring is the whole strategy. I know that's not the fun part. Nobody dreams about not buying a car. But the buyers who lose the house in the final week almost always lost it to something they did to themselves, something completely avoidable. A pre-approval is fragile in exactly the ways you control, so control them. Pull a sample pre-approval letter tonight. Your lender's site has one, or just search one up, and find those 2 lines. 30 seconds. It's the cheapest homework you'll do all year. Next episode, we put you in the moment right after that letter lands, when an agent wants you to bid tonight. That's where this gets real. I'm Martin Maxwell. This has been the 5 Minute Prime Podcast. I'll see you next episode.